I'm Kait.
And I'm Jamie, and this is Creeps and Coffee,
a show where we talk about the creepiest crime cases around the world.
So, let's grab some coffee
and have a chat. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back. How are you, Jim?
I'm actually mediocre. I had food poisoning.
That is fair. I was going to say I'm a little disappointed it wasn't. I'm thrilled. I'm the best I've been in so long.
I'm thrilled. I'm almost the best I've been in so long.
Okay. Well, I'll take that.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
It's Caitlin's birthday.
It's my birthday.
Go ahead. Wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, me.
Don't interrupt them.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's the kindest thing anyone has ever said to me.
Yeah. We have party hats on.
We have party hats on. We've got Bud Light Gatorade that also has a party hat on.
It's a party.
It's a wild party.
It's hats.
Mm-hmm. They're special hats.
Because they're birthday hats?
Yep. That makes them special. Lots to celebrate, not just my birthday.
Yeah.
But
we got a new microphone.
We finally have a microphone.
So we're professionals now.
Yeah.
Pay us.
Please. We've got a Buy Us a Coffee page where you can support the show or send a birthday donation. If you would like to buy me a coffee, I would love that.
For her birthday.
For my birthday. What else do we have to celebrate, Jane?
Well, we're also roommates now.
We are!
I moved. Yeah, I moved in and now we roomies and besties.
Mm-hmm.
And co-hosts.
Mm-hmm.
And partners in crime.
And partners in life.
Aww.
Okay, so I'll go.
How does that sound in HD?
Yeah, very, very exciting times. I know. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, we have cats who love me, by the way.
Yeah, the cats have taken to Jamie quite well.
And by that she means they're mine now.
Yeah, I'm honestly quite pissed off about it. I had her warned, they're very hesitant with new people. They'll probably take a while to warm up. And they were on her lap within the first 10 minutes of her being here. So it's fine. It's whatever. It's not like I pay for them and feed them and give them love. Jamie's new, so
I'm cool. But it's okay. This episode will make you feel better.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain why?
Absolutely I do.
It's Caitlin's special, so.
It is my special episode for my special day.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to talk about history.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about excitement.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, we're going to talk about Titanic.
Yay!
In addition to my party hat, I'm wearing my Titanic sweater.
Yep.
So yeah, this is really one of the best birthdays I can imagine.
Aww.
I've got my bestie.
Me.
I've got my cats.
Me.
I've got Titanic.
Me.
What more could a girl want?
Tomorrow you're getting sangria.
Oh, I'm getting so much sangria.
And nachos.
Tachos. Have you guys ever had tachos? They're tater tot nachos.
I've had them before.
Yeah.
I have no recollection, but they sound delicious.
I think the last time you had them was like my 15th birthday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It'll be great.
We're ringing in the 23rd chapter of my life with the same chapter I've been rereading
So,
for years.
Give us the spooky Titanic gossip or lore.
I will, thank you.
Whatever you wanted.
So, I promise I'm not going to just talk about Titanic for an hour.
Right. There's something else.
We're going to take it to a deeper level. So I thought,
okay,
what makes Titanic as fascinating as it was? Any guesses?
My first instinct was to yell, death!
Not death. That is...
Thai icebergs.
Thai icebergs, yes.
I was just going to say Titanic.
Titanic is the most fascinating part.
Icebergs?
About Titanic. No. Although the icebergs are interesting.
Boats.
No.
Humans.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
First try.
Yeah. Nailed it. The passengers are what make the story of Titanic really worth it. There's lots of really interesting people who are on Titanic. You've got Isidore and Issa Strauss, the founders of Macy's department store. You know,
Oh.
in the movie that I've made you watch 4 million times,
Uh-huh.
that old couple that are curled up in bed as the, spoiler alert, as the ship is sinking.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be them.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Mm.
Issa didn't want to get on the lifeboat without Isadora, so they went down together.
Aw.
Yeah. We've got Benjamin Guggenheim, one of the richest men in the world.
Guggenheim.
Oh, we've got Colonel Archibald Butt.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Great guy.
Great guy.
We've got John Jacob and Madeline Astor. Scandalous couple.
Do you mean John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt?
Every ounce of me knew that you were going to say that. We've got my favorite person in the entire world.
Mary Brown.
That's the chicken lady. Molly Brown.
Molly.
Mary Brown sells chicken.
I'm so close.
Molly Brown.
They both start with M. And then with Brown.
Margaret Tobin Brown. My hero in life.
Makes great chicken.
Makes fantastic chicken. All of those people are talked about a fair amount when you do research on Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
But one person that really needs to be talked about more is a woman named Violet Jessop.
Yes.
So Violet Jessop, super cool lady, but is perhaps most well known as the unsinkable woman.
Mm.
So Molly Brown is known as the unsinkable Molly Brown, but Violet Jessop is really the unsinkable one, if you think about it. So
Yeah.
disaster seems to, unfortunately, follow Violet quite a bit, but she comes out of it on top. So I thought today we could dive into the life and times of Violet Jessop.
And the mysterious circumstances of how she stayed alive.
Precisely. The mysterious
circumstances.
So yeah, this is her story.
Give it to us, Kait. This is a listening episode for me.
Oh, amazing. I'm sorry to everyone who has to hear my voice for the next hour.
It's kind of spooky, right?
It is. It's a weird, like, everything is connected sort of thing. There's lots of little coincidences. I think it's fascinating. So,
all right.
I feel like it's in poor taste to say let's dive in, but let's do it. So, Violet Constance Jessop.
Yes.
Born October 2nd, 1887, in a place near Argentina that I cannot pronounce.
Chile?
No, not Chile. She was the eldest of 9 children, of which 6 survived. Not ideal, but it is 1887, so medical practices are not quite what they are today. Unfortunately, it was fairly common for children to pass away. But she was the eldest daughter of Irish immigrants William and Catherine Jessop. I'm not sure how they ended up near Argentina, but they were there. Violet really started off with a bang, too. She nearly died from tuberculosis when she was very, very young. Doctors told her parents to expect that she was going to pass away. I mean, tuberculosis in general was such an intense thing to have to deal with.
Yeah.
She came out of it with no further issues from it. She was fine.
Good for her.
Yeah, so that took a toll on her as a child, obviously, as it would. And then by the time she was 16, her father had passed away. So William died from complications from surgery, which I'm sure is really intense because you're going in thinking that you're solving a problem and your family comes out with a bigger problem.
My worst fear.
Yeah, really is Jamie's worst fear. But when William died, her mother and the other 5 children decided that they should go back to England where there was more family, more opportunities for them. With Catherine being a single woman now, it was kind of a big deal. She needed to know where she could find work.
Yeah.
So back to England the family went. When they lived in England, Violet attended a convent school. So her family was very, very religious, which is not surprising because they were Irish. And Irish people tend to be super Catholic.
Okay.
And that'll come into play later. But Violet went to this convent school, cared for her siblings whenever she could, while her mother was off working. So Catherine ended up working as a stewardess on ocean liners to kind of make ends meet for the family. Early 1900s, late 1800s, not a lot of options for women. She found what she could.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it meant she was away at sea most of the time because obviously you can't work from home as a stewardess on a ship.
True.
So yeah, the responsibilities really fell onto Violet. So when Violet was a late teenager, her mother fell ill, which is rough, and she could no longer work. So it was now up to Violet to kind of take up that role, provide for the family however she could. And she decided she was going to follow in Catherine's footsteps, and she applied to be a stewardess herself. So at the age of 21, she was hired by the Royal Mail Line, which is a shipping company in the United Kingdom, and she was hired on the ship Orinoco, which was a mail liner.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. So that was in 1908. She got her first position in 1908. So 21 years old, starting life out strong, doing her thing. The reason Violet is as popular as she is, or is as interesting as she is because of her connection to the White Star Line specifically. So Violet ended up surviving the wreckage and incident of all three of the White Star Line's most famous ocean liners.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. One alone.
Yeah.
Is dramatic enough.
One, I would be like, no, I'm good. I'm fine.
No more boats.
By the third one, I'd be like, no, I'm okay. I don't want to get on this boat.
She's the Grim Reaper of boats. Like, I'm the Grim Reaper of planes.
You know what? You might have a point. Violet's adventures started with the RMS Olympic. So in 1911, Violet was working as a stewardess for the White Star Line. As I said in our last episode, the White Star Line was a shipping company also in the United Kingdom, owned by J.P. Morgan, J. Bruce Ismay, that sort of group of people. And in the summer of 1909, the owners of the White Star Line decided that they were going to build this set of 3 sister ships that would absolutely blow their rival shipping line out of the water. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my birthday, you have to laugh. Yeah, that was good. I believe that almost. So they decided they were going to build 3 ships that would be bigger and better than the Lusitania and the Mauretania, which were the Cunard Line's show-stopping ships.
I've been to the museums of those ones.
You have?
Yeah.
Never with me.
No.
But, So this started with the RMS Olympic. So if you remember from our last episode, the Olympic is sort of the basis of a huge conspiracy theory for supposed Titanic enthusiasts.
Yeah.
But if they would just do basic research, it's fine. Anyway, I ranted about it before. I'll save it. But it was the beginning of everything for the White Star Line. The Olympic was the largest luxury civilian liner of the day. So, big deal. Carried a lot of people. It was very fancy. Quick recap from last week as well. September 20th, 1911, the Olympic was leaving the port from Southampton, and it collided with the British military vessel, the HMS Hawke. So when Olympic collided with the Hawke, it ripped a huge hole in the hull of the ship. It did not sink, thankfully, but it was a major setback.
How do you run into a boat? Like, you can see it right in front of you, can you not?
That's what
Like, 2 giant boats heading towards each other?
That's always been my thought with, like, the Halifax explosion.
It's like, you can see it. What's going on?
Yeah.
If you know how to drive a big boat, tell us.
Yeah, send us an email. I'll drive boat.
I drive boat.
Yeah, so this resulted in the Olympic kind of having to drag itself back to the port to get through that. The Royal Navy ended up suing the White Star Line for damages to the Hawke, which, as I said last week again, makes total sense. I mean, it's a British military vessel. It's doing an important thing. This is on the cusp of the First World War. So things are amping up. They need their ships to be in working order.
Yeah.
And when a passenger liner fucks you over, you're going to want compensation. This is what led to the theory that in order to pay up and get insurance coverage, Olympic and Titanic were switched, blah, 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 which is stupid and not true. Yeah. So Violet was on board when that happened.
Fun.
Yeah. Violet was basically in charge of making sure people weren't panicking, reminding them that the ship was not sinking, that they would get to port no problem. But even though it didn't sink, like, that's a terrifying experience.
Yeah.
Like, it was a big deal.
I'd be crying in a closet.
Yeah. Good for her for making it through.
Following protocol, being chill.
After this crash, you would think if it were Jamie or I, we would have been like, nah, we're good.
No more boats.
Yeah, this has been fun, but maybe I'll be a secretary.
Yeah.
But no, Violet loved being a stewardess. She loved working with passengers, especially on ocean liners. So she continued to work for the White Star Line. She was aboard the Olympic as it continued as a passenger liner until the following year, when she got an offer to transfer to the Titanic. And this would ultimately be a really big deal.
Yeah.
Violet was actually really hesitant to join the Titanic crew. Not because she had any premonitions that anything would happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But because she really just got along really well with the people she worked with on the Olympic. She knew the ship. She had worked on it for at least a year at this point. She knew it inside and out. And she was hesitant to sort of uproot that comfort level and replace it with this ship that is supposed to be record-breaking. Everyone was talking about Titanic. So it's a lot of pressure to be on a crew for this ship that's supposed to be the greatest ship on Earth.
Yeah.
So Violet was like, I don't know. But I feel bad saying this, but all of her friends convinced her it would be a, quote, wonderful experience.
Oh.
Yeah. So she decided, still with the White Star Line. I'm sure people on the crew are wonderful. So she decided that she was going to join Titanic's crew.
Oh.
So on April 10th, 1912, at the age of 24, she's just only a year older than me, Violet joined the Titanic crew. So April 10th, 1912 was also the day that Titanic fully set sail on its maiden voyage, which was supposed to cross the Atlantic Ocean, get to New York City, and break records for being the fastest, most luxurious cruise liner the world had ever seen.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
Spoiler alert, big upset there.
Oopsies.
Yeah. So before all of the oopsie stuff happened, Violet has some really good insight on sort of what the atmosphere was like for the crew, what the ship experience was for people who were, I guess, in the field. Because we've heard a lot of passenger accounts, right? We know a lot of like, oh, the staterooms were gorgeous and like living conditions for third-class passengers were like the fanciest they've been on any ship and like all this stuff. But we don't really have a lot of accounts from the crew because the crew were encouraged to not talk about their experiences much afterwards.
Oh.
Because there was a court trial after to see if any of it could have been prevented, all that stuff. Like unlawful death suits from a lot of families. A lot of the crew did have to stay quiet because they had to like save it for court, and some of that isn't public record. So it's really interesting to be able to look at Violet's perspective and hear what she had to say, especially in comparison to her experiences on the Olympic.
Yeah.
So Violet ended up actually documenting a lot of her experiences in what would become her memoirs.
Oh.
It's now published, which is really interesting. The shortened title is Titanic Survivor, The Newly Discovered Memoirs of Violet Jessop.
That's the short one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what the long one is?
I'm pretty sure it's something along the lines of Titanic Survivor, The Newly Discovered Memoirs of Violet Jessop, the woman who survived the sinking of the Olympic, the Titanic, and the Britannic.
Wow.
Like, it's needless.
Too long.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, though, my favorite Titanic book growing up was called 882 and a Half Amazing Answers to Your Questions About the Titanic.
Still too long.
Yeah. So it's kind of a running theme with Titanic books. So it's great that we have a lot of direct quotes from her and detailed accounts of her own experiences. So in this set of memoirs, Violet describes sort of her introduction into life as a stewardess on Titanic. So she talks about the fact that she bought a brand new suit thing, like pencil skirt, suit jacket. She was feeling all snazzy.
Aww.
She was like going on this fancy new ship.
Treat yourself.
Exactly. And that's one fascinating thing about Violet as well, is that she was a very pretty young woman. But in order to get hired, she felt like she had to dull herself down because she had people tell her that she wouldn't get hired if she looked like she was trying to put herself out.
What?
It's early 1900s.
Oh.
So she had to dull herself down. So her position on the Titanic was really the first time where she could be luxurious. She could treat herself and kind of get dolled up for her own enjoyment because it fit the style of the ship.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that kind of gave her that little bit extra freedom, I guess, to be herself, to get all dolled up. But I think it's bullshit that she had to hold herself back in order to find a job. But in this book, Violet also describes bringing a translated copy of a Hebrew prayer, which was given to her by an older Irish woman. So I said before, Violet was very, very religious. Her family was a family of devout Catholics. So she took this prayer really seriously. But the weird part is, this prayer that this woman gave her was supposed to provide her with protection against water.
Oh.
So she read it out loud. She carried a rosary in the pocket of her apron. So she would take it out every morning, read it out loud. And she would also make her roommate read it out. So her roommate is believed to be a woman named Elizabeth Leather, who was another stewardess on Titanic. Obviously, the crew would have shared staterooms.
Yep.
But she never explicitly says Elizabeth Leather. She never states that that's who it was. It's never explicitly listed on the passenger list or the crew list, like who was bunking with who.
Okay.
But the thing with Violet's book, and I have issue with this, but I also understand, she would not name Elizabeth, but she would also not name a lot of the people that she worked with.
Why?
A lot of it was sort of to cover them, to sort of stop from any animosity between people she might not have liked very much. In some cases, it was because she didn't want to slander the name of the dead, because a lot of people obviously did perish when Titanic sank. But there were a select few who she really, really cared about, really got along with. So among these named people that she felt she saw eye to eye with were Thomas Andrews, who was the ship's designer. Really interesting guy. I won't go into it because we'll be here for hours.
Already?
Yeah. But good guy. Very, very accurately portrayed in the 1997 James Cameron film Titanic. And she also mentioned John Hume, who was a Scottish violinist who was in the ship's orchestra. John was around our age. Unfortunately, he also died in the sinking with the rest of the band. And that old adage of the band played till the very end is heartbreaking because it's true. Yeah, so Violet said she was really, really close with John Hume. So she does have lots of positive things to say. I don't mean to say that she was shit-talking everybody she worked with. I follow. But yeah, those people were very important to her. But it is what it is. Violet was doing a good job. She had no issue with Titanic compared to the Olympic, which is what she was worried about. Yeah. She talked a lot about how sort of her routine when it came to things was to go get some fresh air up on the deck before she would go to the stateroom for the night. So she would finish up work, get some fresh air, and then retire for the night. And I think, as much as I hate ships and hate the thought of being on a boat for any period of time, I think that would be really nice to be on this luxury cruise and seeing this beautiful sunset and feeling the fresh air. Absolutely. Yeah. So she would do this every night, which unfortunately takes us to the night of April 14th. So Violet says in her memoir, "If the sun did fail to shine so brightly on the fourth day out, and if the little cold nip crept into the air as evening set in, it only served to emphasize the warmth and luxuriousness within. So, basically to say, no one had any idea of the shitstorm that was about to come.
Yeah.
If there was any sort of indication, it was looked past. And that's sort of a theme with a lot of the crew, their sort of little comments that they've made about that night. They've said, like, yeah, something seemed a little off in hindsight, but no one would have expected.
And nobody wants to think something's wrong.
No.
So, like, I feel like that's a lot of accidents where you're like, you might have like a little voice in the back of your head, but you're like, no, I don't want to ruin the night, don't want to ruin the mood. But
unfortunately, the mood would be quite ruined on the night of April 14th, 1912. What Violet says is that she was, quote, comfortably drowsy in her bed when she felt a little bit of a shudder. It's around 11:40 p.m. on the night of the 14th. Titanic collided with an iceberg, which poked a bunch of holes in the starboard side, which would cause the bulkheads to overflow and would ultimately result in Titanic being filled with water. It could have survived, or the ship could have kept going with some of the bulkheads filled, but not with all of them, unfortunately. And they knew from conversations with Thomas Andrews that there were not enough lifeboats on board for even half of the passengers. Oh my God. Had they been at full capacity. Okay, I'm going to rant for a second.
Okay.
You remember last week I said Jay vs. May was a piece of shit?
Yeah.
I'm going to get into that now. So, Thomas Andrews is a fantastic man. He's a great ship designer, a wonderful builder, and he was like, why wouldn't we put enough lifeboats? Why wouldn't we do that? And Jabers Ismay was the one that was like, oh, there's not enough deck space on the promenade. People aren't going to be able to walk without bumping into a lifeboat. Boo fucking who?
So it was all superficial.
It was all superficial. He just wanted more deck space. He wanted it to look prettier. And he was the one that told Thomas Andrews not to worry because Titanic was unsinkable.
So it's his fault.
Yeah, 100%. I used to do public speech competitions. Do you remember that? Because I was that kid. And every year, my competitive speech was why Jabers Ismay was the reason Titanic sank. I never won.
Probably because no one knew who that was.
100% because no one knew. And no one, here's the reality. If I could go back in time and tell little Caitlin, nobody gives a shit.
Nobody cares.
No one cares.
It happened 100 years ago.
Yeah, but yeah. So that is a hill I will die on. Thomas Andrews knew and sort of started to warn the crew that it was not going to go very well. And he estimated that they had about 4 hours. So obviously not great. We've heard a lot of accounts from passengers as they started to realize what was going on, sort of that cluster of issues. But Violet gives us a really good perspective on what it was like to be a crew member at that point and knowing what they knew.
Yeah.
But trying to make sure that everybody wasn't panicking. So Violet ended up being asked to go on deck to, I guess the best way to put it is to put on a performance to act as an example of how to behave for the third class passengers. Probably one of the saddest aspects of the people that were in steerage on Titanic is that most of them were foreigners. They were the people who could afford the third class tickets, and a lot of them did not speak English. So reading signage, they couldn't do it. They couldn't get to the emergency exits. They didn't know what deck they were supposed to be on. No one could explain to them what the instructions were for getting on a lifeboat. They didn't understand why people were panicking, why people were doing this thing. So it was a really stressful position to be in, but Violet stood her ground and tried to show as best as she could what was going to happen. Unfortunately, as we know, a lot of those people did not get the opportunity to get on a lifeboat. Of the 2,200 passengers that were on board Titanic, approximately 1,500 would perish in the sinking, leaving about 700. So less than half able to, basically a third of the passengers
Mm-hmm.
who managed to survive. The lifeboats being loaded were not even halfway full.
What?
So, I'm going to rant about this for a second, too.
Tell us why. Because I don't know.
So, when Titanic was being built, obviously they're going to test out all of these safety things. They're going to make sure that the lifeboats don't have holes in them, that if the ship does need to use the lifeboats, that it can hold the capacity of people it's supposed to hold. So these people at Harland and Wolff shipyards in Belfast, where they were making Titanic, used their men, like their big, burly shipbuilding men, to test the weight, size, and like the overall capacity of these lifeboats. So most of these lifeboats were suitable for 60 to 70 full-grown men.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be used in emergencies, right? Like, is it going to be comfortable? No, you're squished together like sardines. But it's not about comfort on a lifeboat. It's about survival.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they were being sent out with 20 people. There was one boat that was sent out with 12.
Literally, why?
Because the first-class passengers didn't like being squished together. They didn't want to upset them. A lot of them wanted it to be organized by class. They wanted to know like where the first class section would be on the boat.
In the water.
For the most part. Violet was lucky enough to sort of be on the back end of the boats.
Mm-hmm.
So the priority for most ocean liners, most airplanes, even into today, is women and children first. So that's how the lifeboats were loaded. It was women and children, passengers, and then when it came to, like I said, sort of the butt end of the lifeboats, it was a lot of the female crew that they were trying to put on.
Mm-hmm.
So Violet ended up being one of those. So Violet was loaded onto lifeboat number 16, which was led by 6th Officer James Moody. He launched that at about 1:20 a.m., so very, very close to the end of things.
Okay.
This was one of the more full lifeboats because they had realized at this point that they were making a mistake.
Yeah.
So that being said, it was only about 40 people.
Okay.
Not ideal. Most of the people who were on lifeboat 16 were women and children from 2nd and 3rd class. It was led by Master at Arms Joseph Henry Bailey. There was also 2 seamen named Ernest Archer and James Forward, who sort of acted as the first mates of the lifeboat.
Arg.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Elizabeth Leather, who we said is believed to be her roommate, was also on lifeboat 16.
Nice.
So sort of their interactions and their accounts of that is what leads historians to believe that they were the ones who were together.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about 1:20 a.m. It is said by Violet that one of Titanic's officers, as she was getting into this lifeboat, handed her a baby.
Oh.
And not really having a chance to think, not really having much to, she was like, all right.
Baby.
Yeah, so she took this baby and held it on the lifeboat. At about 2:20 a.m. on April 15th, 1912, Titanic finally finished and sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, just off the coast of sort of Newfoundland, Nova Scotia.
Mm-hmm.
And the next morning, which was as fast as anyone could get there, the RMS Carpathia, which was ironically enough owned by the Cunard Line, which was the White Star Line's rivals, arrived to pick up the remaining passengers who had survived the night.
That's so sad.
The really sad thing is that there was a ship that was about 2 hours away that saw Titanic's distress flares and thought they were fireworks and didn't get the distress calls until it was too late. So had they gotten there, a lot more people could have been saved.
I have goosebumps.
Yeah. Good. It's working.
Oh.
She gets it now.
This is just sad.
It is. It really is. Fun fact.
Fun?
Titanic was one of the first ships to use the SOS distress call.
What part of that is fun?
It's an interesting thing.
Okay.
Do you know Here's a quiz for you. Do you know what they used before SOS?
Screams.
It's really hard to use Morse code for screaming.
Oh, that wasn't even my second guess. You know.
That's how they used SOS.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it before though?
And it's not screams?
It's not screams.
Flares?
No. What code?
Oh, code.
Yeah, what code? Not SOS.
Can you give me a hint?
No. It's not a simple pattern.
We are dying. Come get us. I don't know, what is it? R.I.P.
They used to use CQD.
Why?
Come quick distress.
Suck on D's. CQD.
Yep. Yeah, that's what CQD stands for.
That's cute.
Okay.
Come quick distress?
Come quick distress, yeah. But it was a little bit more complicated, obviously, to put in CQD. SOS. No one actually knows what SOS stands for.
Save our souls.
That's what they think.
Uh-oh.
People have also thought save our ship.
Ah.
But it's really just because it's ... dash ... ... So it's really quick to be like...
Was that actually it?
Yeah.
Wow. She knows Morse code, folks.
She does.
She's a catch.
What can I say?
I can burp on
one.
command. If anyone's interested.
Yeah, she's a real winner too.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, everybody died. We're not making light of the situation, by the way. We cope with dark humor.
Mm-hmm. It's been over 100 years. I think we're allowed to
make quips about it.
Yeah, lots that could have gone better. But as unfortunate as the situation is, 700 people were still saved.
Woo.
Captain Rostron of
Wait, you say 700?
Yeah.
Total?
Yeah. 700-ish of 2,200.
Okay.
I would like everyone to realize that I've been talking about Titanic for 15 years.
I don't listen.
This is the first time I've seen a genuine reaction from Jamie. And I'm loving it. This is recorded for me to enjoy forever.
Nobody else.
No. So Captain Rostron of the Carpathia actually ended up getting an award for his service and coming to help.
Yeah.
There's a really famous picture of Molly Brown giving the award to Captain Rostron.
Chicken.
Yeah, the chicken. Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love her.
Yeah. Anyway. So he was an amazing guy. Unfortunately, the captain of the Titanic went down with the ship.
Yeah.
Good old EJ. Thomas Andrews perished. He felt responsible for building a ship that would sink and destroy the lives of so many. J. Bruce Ismay, like the fucking bitch boy that he is, snuck onto a lifeboat at the last second.
I remember that from the movie.
Yeah, well, some people say he disguised himself as a woman so he could get on.
Whatever.
Yeah, anyway. And Violet Jessop survived.
Woo!
So when the Carpathia got to New York and dropped off passengers, Violet obviously was a little shaken up. But she decided she was going to return to Southampton. This meant taking another boat, which I cannot imagine. I think about that all the time. A lot of people on Titanic were moving to America, but a lot of people were just going on vacation.
Yeah.
There were no plane, there was no passenger plane.
No.
You'd have to get back on a boat to go back home.
That would suck.
Can you imagine? I don't even like boats now because I've heard about Titanic.
Yeah.
Imagine experiencing it.
No, thank you.
Anyway, so Violet returns back to Southampton. She takes a few years of rest, not avoiding ships, but taking the time she needs to recover and deal with that. Unfortunately, as we all know, the First World War started.
Yeah.
Not great. So when this happened, she actually stepped up as a stewardess for the British Red Cross and started working on a hospital ship. This hospital ship happened to be the third sister ship from the White Star Line, the Britannic. So HMHS Britannic was originally supposed to be the RMS Gigantic, I think I talked about this last week.
Yeah.
But nobody wanted to get on a ship called the Gigantic after the gigantic mess that Titanic was.
Good one.
Yeah, thank you. I thought of that in the shower. So the White Star Line converted it to a hospital ship, and they were like, okay, there's a war happening. We might as well use it.
Yeah.
So Violet just happened to be stationed on this ship.
Oh, Violet.
Yeah, poor girl. Because it would not go very well this time either.
Again.
Yeah, again. You really think, like, nah, third time's the charm. So, 1916, on the morning of November 21st, the HMHS Britannic ended up at the bottom of the Aegean Sea after an unexplained explosion. Now, if we look at different theories, it's never been fully proven what this explosion was. We know the war was going on, so obviously could be anything.
Yeah.
People at the time were very convinced that the ship was torpedoed.
Oh.
There was a diving expedition done, I believe in 2016, 2017, down to the wreck of the Britannic. And they are more toward the belief that it struck a deep sea mine that was set by the Germans.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that makes me nervous about people in the Navy.
Yeah.
You can't, I don't like water. And there's so many things you don't see in the water.
And it's so deep and unknown.
I don't like it. It makes me nervous.
So to everyone who's in the Navy, we respect you a lot and good for you.
But that was even a thought at the time, was that it was a mine planted by the Germans. Obviously for a warship, but unfortunately it happened to be a hospital ship that was struck. The thing with the Britannic, there were 1,066 people on board. It was not as intense of a disaster as Titanic was, thank God. But obviously an explosion, whether it's a torpedo or an undersea mine, is going to cause sinking to be a little bit faster than an iceberg would. So instead of taking 4 hours, it took 55 minutes for Britannic to sink. It killed 32 people on board. Not ideal, but it's less than 1,500.
Yeah,
so.
That's true.
There's a bunch of conspiracy theories, too, that I don't know where people are getting this shit, but just like they think they switched out Olympic and Titanic, people think that the Royal Navy sunk their own ship to start beef with Germany, as if there wasn't already beef.
Yeah.
It's a world war. Anyway.
Yeah, no, guys, I don't think that. No.
So as if this sinking wasn't enough, they've got people in lifeboats. They've got enough lifeboats this time, thank God, because after Titanic, they made a rule that you have to have enough lifeboats to hold the people on your boat.
Should have already been a rule, but okay.
Yeah, it's fine. But while on the lifeboat, I don't know how to put this without sounding graphic. The propellers of the ship remained going because they couldn't, turn the ship off when it got torpedoed or whatever. So,
trigger warning?
Possibly. Prepare yourself. The lifeboats collided with some of the propellers and just ripped them to shreds, including some of the people on the lifeboats. So Violet nearly died this time because her lifeboat got sucked into the propeller area. I wish you could see Jamie's face right now. So she had to jump out of the lifeboat.
Oh my god!
And she had a traumatic head injury from this, which is fair, I would say. To come out of all of this with only a traumatic head injury is shockingly impressive. But she survived. So there's a quote from her memoirs talking about watching Britannic go down. So she says, "The white pride of the ocean's medical world dipped her head a little, then a little lower, and still lower. All the deck machinery fell into the sea like a child's toys. Then she took a fearful plunge, her stern rearing hundreds of feet into the air, until with a final roar, she disappeared into the depths."
That is so dark.
Yeah. And this is the third time she's seen one of these ships destroyed.
Within, like, what, 10, 15 years? Aren't they all within the same...
Within, like, 5 years.
All within...
Olympic was 1911.
Uh-huh.
Titanic was 1912. Britannic was 1916.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Interestingly enough, there were 2 other Titanic passengers that were on board the Britannic when this sank.
Oh.
They also both survived. So Archie Jewell and Arthur John Priest were passengers on Titanic that were also on Britannic. They were all good. So
Good
I can't imagine. She returned to work for the White Star Line after the war.
Absolutely not.
So what the fuck there, Violet? And then she ended up joining the Red Star Line, which was another shipping company. And then she finished off with the Royal Mail Line, which is where she started with her first ship when she was 21.
Unshakable.
Yeah. She went on 2 cruises around the world. Like, this woman, relentless with boats, ships.
Oh my god.
I don't know why. But my favorite story of Violet is one that's stuck with me since I started learning about it. So Violet tells a story of being retired, so she was in her 60s, 70s, and receiving a phone call one night from a woman who asked, "Is this Violet Jessop?" Just to confirm, this is the Violet Jessop that was on Lifeboat 16 when Titanic sank. And she said, "Yes, that's me." And then she says that the voice said, "Do you remember, like, is this the person that grabbed the baby?" And she said, "Yes, I held a baby for a while before the mother found me on Carpathia." And she says, "Why do you ask? Like, why did you call me?" And the voice said, "I was that baby. You saved my life." Yeah. And then they hung up.
Oh.
So she never got to have a full conversation with that child.
Why?
Who knows?
What?
But she kind of got that closure that
I didn't. What do you mean?
Survived.
That's weird.
There's no record of who that baby really was. There were only a select few children on Titanic. The youngest person was a 6-month-old named Melvina Dean. She died in 2014. It wasn't her.
Oh. What the heck?
Yeah. So, but that Violet said that was a really pivotal moment for her. That she had gone through all of this stuff, but that in all of it, she was able to save at least one life. So she said that really impacted her, obviously, as it would.
Yeah.
She was a trooper. That's for
I was
sure.
just gonna say that.
So Violet didn't really talk much about her experiences.
She wasn't phased.
I can't imagine.
She said, "PTSD, like, who?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Not for me."
And shut down. But yeah, she was quite the lady. She passed away in 1971 at the age of 83 years old. She had congestive heart failure. Oh. It wasn't a shipwreck.
Nope. I think maybe that's a better way to go.
Yeah. She's an interesting lady. That is for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she never had any children. She had a really brief marriage in the 50s, but nobody could tie Violet down.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kait.
Yeah. In the James Cameron film, there's a scene where Thomas Andrews hands one of the stewardesses a life jacket and says, like, "Oh, why don't you have your life vest on? Like, Lucy, you need to put this on." It's generally believed that Lucy, that stewardess that worked for Rose, is supposed to be based on Violet.
Oh.
Which is sort of a sweet allusion to that relationship that she had with Thomas Andrews.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want Lucy to wear her life jacket to convince passengers to do the same.
Yeah.
Which was Violet's job.
Right.
To show people they needed to be wearing it.
Full circle.
Yeah. Yeah, she's mentioned in a lot of different films. There's lots of movies about Titanic, obviously. There's one called The Mystery of the Britannic. There's a television movie that came out in the year 2000 just called Britannic, which talks a lot about Violet's story. But yeah, that's my birthday gift to myself.
Yeah, that's Caitlin's special. It's not necessarily like spooky, but it is interesting that it's like...
It's wild.
It's weird, it gave me goosebumps when I didn't think it would.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess it's more of a historical creepy.
And I think
it's almost like true crime, but not.
Exactly. I think what interests me about stories like this, and why I like looking into the lives of these people, is that there's so many little intricacies in history and in these connections between ships and shipping lines and experiences that people can share.
Yeah.
And there's so much that we can learn from and grow from in history. And people like Violet are people who are changing the world in little ways. You wouldn't think that throwing on a life jacket to show people to wear it would be a big deal.
Holding a baby.
Deciding to jump off of a lifeboat that's about to get shredded by a ship's propeller. Like, these are experiences that could have easily been looked past had people not recognized the special kind of person that Violet Jessop was. And I think that people deserve to have their legacy go on. I think Violet is one of those people.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all 2,200 people on Titanic had fascinating stories, so I'm just saying, if anybody wants to hear more, I got them.
If there's anyone who survived the Titanic.
They're all dead.
Are you sure?
Yep, Melvina Dean was the last one to go, 2014.
Oh.
Yeah, ask me how devastated I was.
I remember getting a text or something about that.
Yeah, you did. You absolutely did.
And I was like, who?
You know how weird it is to explain to your best friend that the reason your day is ruined is because a woman you've never met has died?
Yeah, it's normal in this household.
It is. It really is. As in the same vein of when I called her sobbing that Alex Trebek was dead.
Oh, to be fair, I was crying too.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's...
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me. If you're still listening, thank you.
Yeah. We'll come back with something maybe spookier next week, but this was a birthday special, so it had to be special.
Yes. And I feel very special because I have all of you listening. I feel like the best birthday gift I could have is my best friend with me.
And I got her hot sauce.
And she got me a hot sauce and earrings.
Yeah, we'll go best friend.
She's the best friend. But thank you for making my birthday so special. And thank you guys for listening and for making every day special.
Oh.
We feel very lucky that you want to listen to us at all.
Yeah, we're about to reach 500 listens.
Woohoo! Yay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. We love you, and we'll be back soon. And I promise I won't talk about Titanic for at least 2 episodes.
I'll hold you to it.
Do it.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Coffee is produced and edited by us, Kait and James.
Our theme music is Stuck in a Hole by Dated.
For more information on where to find them, check out the link in our show notes. And to connect with us, follow us on Instagram and Twitter @CreepsandCoffee.